All right. I would like to dive more into your light. I don't know yet how it's going to look like. I have a bit of an idea, but let's just get in flow and just see what wants to come through. I'm really going to tune in. I want to ask you, let's just get a state of flow that gives me a moment to really tune in. So I want to invite you to put your hand on your heart. Just create a coherent breath. Could be 5 counts in and then 5 counts out again without a break. So that your breath becomes nice, calm, and relaxed. And while you breathe, I want to ask you to put your hand on your heart and also really become aware of your body, your human suit. And noticing that human that is here in its human suit, which means that I'm asking you to take a bit of a perspective to observe that human in its human suit, in the human body, breathing and sitting there, wherever it is at the moment. And just that awareness, somehow that realization that there is your human, with the bones and the blood and the organs and the heart and the muscles and all of it, and the brains and the eyes and the skin and all of it, doing so its best to move through life. And then with it come the thoughts, the busy mind or the quiet mind, but thoughts nevertheless. And with it comes the emotions, the feelings. What a pleasure. It is not on every planet like that. What a joy to feel emotions and all the different palette of emotions. What an experience. And with it comes the things that we do, the things that we bring forth, the actions that we take, and it could just simply be drinking a cup of tea. It could be really guided actions. It could be actions from the ego. Actions nevertheless. Beautiful. That human there, sitting there, doing all these things, breathing, vibrating, thinking, feeling, having all these organs functioning and all the cells replacing and replenishing, and all these things are happening there. What an experience, and so many experiences. And with it comes the energy, the human energy, which is often very related to the emotions, but doesn't have to. There you have that human being that has energy and can express and feel and experience different states of energy. And within these layers of frequency, there's so much expression of emotion. Sadness is not one frequency. It depends very much on which frequency you are and how you perceive it and what your perception is and how much you're clinging on to it and what you're thinking about it and how your body feels. There's so much elements that go into that. Here you have this human experience on so many different levels, more than I just mentioned, obviously. This beautiful human going through life, experiencing. And now we can, as you know, experience that all from the human perspective, the human limitation. But we can also go to a space where we are more than just the human. I'm not telling you anything new, but I want to take you in that realization, in the felt sense of it. There is more than that human experience with all these layers and facets. And that is that expansion of yours. And I would like to invite you to make that more tangible, to imagine that circle around you, that circle of your higher self, that create a circle and then pull that up. So it is a pillar around you. And now let's fill that pillar with the energy. So let's not make that a doing. Let's rather make that a becoming aware of it being filled up as I talk through it. And it might be different than what I talk about, and that is all okay. While you're in the pillar, I want you to connect with the earth, the core of the earth. You are there in that pillar that might have a color already or still very, very simple, but we're going to color it in. We're going to fill it up. And I would invite you first to go to the core of the earth. Connect with it, the essence there of the earth. And there might be the spot that is just your spot, where it's grounded, where it's solid, when it's sturdy, where there's a kind of solid knowing as well. This is what I am. I'm this grounded being. I'm this basic, grounded, solid being, or rather, it's an element of me, an energy of me. And connect with that and feel that energy, that sturdiness, that groundedness, that solidness, that knowingness. And then notice how you feel in its energy. And then you bring that back to that pillar, filling that up in that pillar. And your body is in the pillar, so your body is also filled up with that. And your energy around you and the pillar, full with that grounded energy. Beautiful. Feel that, be with that. Great. And let's now go up to the core of the universe. There might be just that spot that is for you. The core of the universe, the loving light, that source energy. Just connect with it and feel it and observe it. It is not a doing, it's an awareness of it. It is seeing it, feeling it, knowing it, experiencing it. That beautiful white light, that source energy, that unconditional love. You being love without a condition, meaning you are perfect the way you are. There's nothing you need to be, become, perform. It is perfect just the way you are. That means unconditional love. There's no condition whatsoever. The pure love. Connect with that. It's that bright white or golden light, however you experience it, that pure light, that pureness, that allness, that oneness, that love, and those unlimited possibilities. It is all that is. And you are allowed to disappear in it. Just for a moment, there in the core of the universe, as much as you can allow yourself. Just absorbing it, taking it in, and dissolving it. You can let go of any of the human constraints for a moment. This is your energy. This is not foreign. This is you, an extension of you. And I want to invite you to bring that back into your pillar, into your human, into its energy, in the body, around the body, and the pillar. Fill it up with that beautiful white light. And it might even vibrate outside of it. It's all fine. Whatever you notice that it wants to do, go with it. I rather have you observing what it wants than you constructing it to stay within your pillar. So here you are in a space with your sturdiness, your groundedness, and with your loving light. And this is all you. There's nothing foreign about it. This is all you. And I want to invite you to feel into that grounded, loving light. And know that this is you. This is your consciousness. This is your being. This is your I am. And your human is part of that. In an esoteric way, if I can say it like that, don't think, just feel. This is this loving light, and this is what you are. This is this beautiful, unconditional love, unapologetically you. This is you. This is your essence. This is your beauty. This is what you are. You have always been this, and you will always be this, even if you don't tune into it, even if you don't feel it. This is you in its core. And it's always there, even if you don't notice it. It is always there. And from it, it experiences your human. From it is your human. It is not separate in any way. It experiences the world through your human. It's absorbing your human. You are that light. You are everything and nothing. You are that pure love. And here you are, feeling into it as much as you can. Can you become the container? Can you become the light, the groundedness? Can you become that? And perhaps even feel that you are that. You are that loving light. You are all of it. So normally you might feel your body and its energy around it. And I want you to feel in this whole container, all the energy around us, the groundedness, the sturdiness, the solidness, the knowingness, and the loving light, the unconditional love, the flame, the beingness, the I am, being just in this moment, because there is no other moment than now. You being all that. You being all of that and so much more. You being all these different lifetimes, different timelines. There's so much going on there. We don't have to feel into all of that because it's all already inside of this energy. It's all part of this energy, this unconditional love. From here, so much life has been expressed. Past life, current life, future life, timelines from this space. There's so much that has been experienced. There has been darkness experienced. There has been enormous lightness experienced. Persecution. There's been experience of death. There has been experience of violence. There has been experience of beauty, of light, of love, of leaderships, of magic that you brought in this world, appreciation of it. There's a palette of all the colors that you can imagine and you have experienced and expressed in all of these timelines, in all of this experience. It is millions of it. All the palettes, all the colors of those experiences. So yes, there's been darkness, and yes, there has been difficulty, and our human loves to connect to that, loves to hold on to that, and loves to, and love might sound as a strange word here, but there's so much we cling on to that because we recognize that suffering that we had in these other timelines, and we know what that is. So we love to connect with that in a certain way and cling on to that. But there's also those lifetimes that we were the magician, that we were the teacher, that we were the leader, that we were the witch, that we were the magnificent being, that we were the painter, that we were the whatever it was. You have been doing it all. There's also all that, for sure. And you can choose to connect with all the darkness. You can also choose to connect with all the lightness. See it as a palette in front of you, full of all the colors, full of all the experience of life, as if one side is the darkness and the other side is the light, and then all the variations in between. It has all been part of your experience, all of it. And now notice where you as a human most relate to. Not where you want to relate to, but at this moment where you relate to most. Is that more to the darkness? Is that more of the light, or is it somewhere in between? And how does that look like? And while we do this, be aware of your pillar, be aware of your groundedness, be aware of your light, be aware of that love, that energy that you are. And then notice when you're in there and you look again at this palette of life in front of you with all these colors, with all these experiences, dark on one side and light on the other. From that space of love and groundedness, from that unconditional love, where does that want to move towards? Where does that want to focus on? Where is it naturally pulling towards? So I want to ask you to come to a realization that there is a palette of choices for you to focus on. The darkness, the gray, all the colors of the rainbow and even more, and light on the other side of the spectrum. Everything is available. You don't have to focus on any of it. But when you do, and there's a certain focus that you feel, hey, that is still impacting my current life here and now, see that you can also focus on another part, another color that you want to bring in and see, hey, that is also still represented here in my life, because it's all of it. It's all here. It is just, where are you focusing in on? I need to repeat that. So this whole palette of all this light, from darkness, all the colors, to light, every color you can imagine, every experience you can imagine, all of that is represented in you and in that pillar and in that light and that love that you are. It has always been part of it. And you have chosen to focus on an element of it. And often, as we as human love the suffering and the hardship, and when we have healed a lot, we're like, oh, there's still some in that past. Let me also focus on that. because I feel that it's still impacting me on this life. But no, all of them are impacting you in this life. Because, and impacting might not be the right word here, because all of it is you. It's all these facets of you. It is all impacting your life here at this moment. And not in the sense that it limits you, but it's all those elements of you, which you can tap into or not, which you can just leave there or be aware of or not. It is a choice to focus on something or not. Or perhaps you don't want to focus on any of that and just be here in the now. You are your loving light. I want to ask you, whatever you feel that is there, that you're focusing a lot and that you feel that brings so much heaviness in my life now, be aware of the choices that you have. There is a richness of choices. So you might want to bring it back to where it came from. You might want to shove it back in a shelf where it was laying. And you might want to focus on another one where you had an amazing life, where you were powerful, where you were most abundant, where you were remember we talked about your highest timeline. It is also there. It's been experienced. You cannot think of a fact that there's a higher timeline if it was not already somewhere else. You know that experience. It's not new to you. You can take that one out and pull that into your life and have that focus. Yes, you can consciously choose that. So I want to ask you now, just for the exercise, to kind of, it might just be a color, pulling that color or the experience or the awareness into your pillar for a moment. And I would like to invite you to do something that is perhaps a bit brighter of color. And bring that into your container, into your pillar, into your experience. And you don't need to really know what it is, but it can maybe be a sense, a felt sense. Maybe it's a knowing, maybe it's a viewing it. Maybe it's an energy. Just choose to pull it in without you needing to know. And just feel how it feels having that in your awareness, in your energy. And then you can choose, do you want to keep it there or do you want to put it back? All of these possibilities are available. We're talking about your multidimensionality. All right. Let's leave all that there. It is always there. It's always in the field. But let's just focus on you for a moment. You here in that beautiful pillar of light, that love. Just lean into it. Here you are in your most appreciated sense of self. We appreciate you being in this sense of self, this beautiful, unconditional, loving sense of self. We here appreciate you being that light. And there's many more outside that appreciate you being that light. I can even go so far to say that everyone appreciates your light, although not everyone might be aware of it, that they appreciate the light. And even if their ego and if they're human might not appreciate it, there is part of them that really appreciates your light. And by you showing your light, you give them an opportunity to tap into their light. You give them permission to feel their light, to be their light, to tap into their light, to get more out of the way. And you're not doing it for the others, you're doing it for yourself. But just to know you're doing people a service. All right. I would like to ask you to bring whatever's in your field, how wide it is or how small it is, whatever it is. I want you to harvest it and bring back to you, into your body, into your system, into your energy field, that what you like to bring back into it. So just to center the energy more into your energy field and to just bring it back to this moment in time. Here, your presence with it. You're being this beautiful light that has this beautiful human experience. You in your suit, you with your name, you being you, doing you. And being back in the here and now. Just feel the presence of the room, of the space that you are.